Our veg patch is now thankfully almost fully completed, and all that now remains is for us to do some of the finishing touches around the edges. We've got some rosemary that we've planted on one of the sides, and we've got a couple of other bits and pieces that we'd like to do, but for the most part I'm pleased to say that the veg patch is now done. So in this video what we're actually going to do is focus on the all-important aspects of veg patches, and that's the vegetables themselves. So we have had some issues with marshals, which I probably don't want to really get into, but with the COVID situation, they have been very, very slow in getting stuff out to us. It's now approaching the 10-week mark, and we're still waiting for the better part of our vegetable plugs. They haven't been the most professional company, but that's that. They have assured us that we will now definitely receive the remaining veg plugs by the end of the month, so that's another 10 days from now. So we'll see what comes. We have planted quite a number of things from Marshalls. We've planted the runner beans, we've got the seed potatoes in, we've planted some cucumbers, and we've also grown some stuff from seed. So in this video, basically, for people like ourselves that have never really had a veg patch like this before, it will be very important to share just timelines, because people that are very experienced with growing vegetables are obviously they know when things will come out and how things progress and what should come out when. For us, it's all been just books, and we actually want to share our experiences with newbie gardeners and vegetable planters such as ourselves, because it will provide you with some sort of timelines with regards to what you can expect, and if growing things from seeds or growing things from veg plugs will be for you. So that's what we're going to focus on in today's video. Please enjoy. So the first update that we're going to provide is on the very first bed that we seeded. Everything in here has been grown from seed. So what we have is we've got leeks growing in there, organic lettuce, which is there. We've got a lovely rocket, we've got carrots, we've got radishes, and we've just got a plain lettuce on this side. Moving across to our next little portion, we've got spinach, we've got bok choy, and we've got the kale. So this was all seeded 5 weeks ago. The radishes, the rockets, and the normal lettuce and the spinach all came out at a very, very quick speed. The leeks, the carrots, and the organic lettuce have taken a lot longer to establish, but at least they are coming along now, and they are actually growing quite quickly. The bok choy is an absolute winner. We grew it last year. The reason that the bok choy have got the copper rings around them is because we woke up 2 mornings ago and we had our first bok choy murder mystery. One of the little seedlings had been decapitated, we think, by a snail. So we're basically protecting them by putting the copper rings around them. The kale is still quite small, but we planted that only about a week ago because the kale that we transplanted here was a bit spindly, so we just figured it's best to put a new mix in there. The Isabel onions have been a bit of a disappointment. As you can see, there's no seedlings at all. It's a real surprise because last year we grew them to great success, but it is just one of those things. The really exciting thing is that we're going to be having our first salad from our veg patch.
With Caesar salad sauce from Tesco's, which is apparently amazing and I've never tried before. So
exciting. So we're going to have a couple of leaves of our Asian lettuce mix.
Yummy.
Then we're going to move over to here. We're going to have a little bit of rocket,
Perfect.
some spinach, and radish.
Yeah, I was kind of offended the other night when we were watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to hear, what's his name?
Jeremy Clarkson.
Doesn't like rocket.
Yeah, crazy.
What is there not to like about rocket?
Hashtag Jeremy Clarkson.
Hashtag rocket pizza. I've got to say, I think that the socks and the gardening clogs is a very attractive look.
These are all cut and come again varieties. So we're just going to take some of the bigger pieces.
They are so delicious.
They are looking very, very good.
Look at that, crispy, fresh.
That's enough from here. And now for our first radish.
Oh wow.
Looking good.
Very pink.
We'll have 2 today. Let's take out another one.
Oh, wow.
Delicious. I'm in our upstairs kitchen and I'd like to share this little trick with you. So basically, this is a celery stem from a supermarket purchased celery that we had used to make stock. Basically, what you do with that stem is you put it in a small bowl of water and leave it in a sunny place like this window. What happened after about 8 days is that we had all these lovely new leaves emerge, and apparently what you're supposed to do now is take this celery and plant it in the ground, which is what we're going to do. And if this works, then that means that we will be able to get into a cycle of just utilizing and regrowing our own celery. It's been another very busy week in the veg patch, and it's also been quite stressful. I've mentioned Marshalls earlier. They really have just been the most unprofessional company that we've had the misfortune of having to deal with. We did get in touch with them. They did finally get back to us and said we would definitely have all of our veg plugs by the end of May. When the end of May came, nothing had arrived. We contacted them again and they said it was going to take another 2 to 3 weeks to fulfill our order, which was just unacceptable because that would have taken us towards the end of June. So it's kind of pointless having to plant stuff that late in the season. So we cancelled our order with them, and thankfully the lockdown restrictions were lifted in the UK for garden centres, so we nipped down to ours. They didn't have a huge selection of things, but at least we were able to buy some staples that we've put in. We've also purchased some seeds from DT Brown. They've been absolutely amazing. Those seeds got shipped within a few days. They will probably arrive today or tomorrow because we have actually got the tracking number. So those will go in. Where we'll fill some of the last of our places. There are quick growing veg and some of it's actually winter veg, so at least we'll be able to fill all of the slots. What did turn out to be quite fortuitous for us is that our local garden centre had actually got a delivery of some really nice tomatoes. So I've actually planted them outside our veg patch because there really isn't an awful lot that's going to affect them, I'm hoping, out here. And we've interplanted some lavender in between them to just work as a little protector. So those have gone in. These all went in a couple of days ago. It was quite a big job getting all of these holes in because there are so many. But generally speaking, the veg patch is looking good. So we'll have a quick update with regards to what's happening. The rosemary is now established. It's beginning to look really good. This is the first of our raised beds. What we have here is 2 Brussels sprouts. That's pumpkin racer, which is a very fast growing, quick pumpkin that grows traditional round Halloween type pumpkins. And we have another Brussels sprout. We have planted out all the Brussels sprouts. That was one of the few deliveries that we did get from Marshall, so they've all gone into the ground. So we are going to have a lot of Brussels sprouts this year. But it's just one of those things. I had the plugs, I put them in the ground. We have got a little bit of a community, so maybe we'll even be able to sell some of those on. In this bed, we're just waiting for one of our neighbors to give us a butternut. So we'll probably net that up today or tomorrow when that arrives. So that'll go in. Spinach, black kale. That's the black kale in front of us with spinach renegade at the back. The potatoes, I'm not sure are going to come out this year. Purely because I have come across quite a lot of wireworm. We did introduce a nematode for wireworms a few days ago, but I'm not sure that that's actually going to have a huge impact. So we might have to write off the potato harvest this year, but fingers crossed, maybe we will get a few. Maybe the nematodes will kick in and manage to suppress those. Here we've got a pepper, which I've been quite optimistic about. This is my optimistic planting. It's just been so incredibly warm in the UK. It's been the hottest and driest May month since 1890, I think it is. So there's certainly, looking at the forecast, going to be no change in the temperature. So I think it's going to remain persistently warm. So you might just really like it there. Again, more Brussels sprouts. courgette is taking off. There's the little celery we discussed earlier. He's beginning to sprout even more. So hopefully he'll establish himself. And we're probably going to put another celery in a little bit later this week, just as a partner for him. There are a couple of empty spaces. Like I said, those will be for the seeds from DT Brown. This is our main potato plot. So this is the one where I've discovered quite a few wireworms. So yeah, it's a real shame. It's going to be very disappointing not to get any potatoes. Next year we're probably just going to put them into raised bed, like proper veg trucks, so they'll be completely off the ground, so we're not going to be affected, and we'll just let the wireworms work their way through the system over the course of the next few years. So we're not going to focus too much on root crops. Our kale from seeds is beginning to come out really quickly, which is fantastic. In this bed we've got a marrow. He's going to grow quite big. More seeds will go in here. Another combination of black kale and renegade spinach. Those are the runner beans from Marshall's. It's taken them absolute ages to establish. It's been about 2 weeks since they've been in the ground. We're finally beginning to see some growth. So even though we haven't received the stuff from Marshall's, it may just be a bit of a blessing in disguise, because for the most part, I don't think the quality of their veg plugs have been fantastic. Again, more Marshall stuff here. These are the cucumbers from them. Have been an absolute disaster. They're just not taking off at all. They've been in the ground for 2 weeks and just not doing much, to be fair. This is probably my favorite thing that we've planted this year. I'd never ever heard of these guys before. I picked them up at the garden centre. It was just one of those purchases where you kind of looked at the label and thought, oh, that could be nice. They're called cucamelons. They're basically grape-sized cucumbers that are super adorable when you see photos of them. And what's really awesome about them is that they taste 100% of cucumber with a hint of lime. So amazing for things like salsas, even for a cocktail. The fruit is really cute. That one there that we can see is the first one that actually came out. He is tiny. He's probably about 2 or 3 millimeters in length. So it always looks a lot bigger on the actual camera, but I can assure you he's absolutely minuscule. Very adorable, very cute little guy. So I think they'll be great in salads. Really looking forward to those. And they're beginning to grow really quickly. They've only been in the ground for about a week, and the little tendrils are shooting out everywhere. So I'm really pleased with that. Up in this bed, we've got some runner beans from our neighbors who very kindly grew some for us. They took a bit of a hammering when we had some strong winds. So some of the bottom leaves have damaged, but they are growing at an incredible rate. They are just taking off far better than the Marshall's ones. And we've got the first of our blossoms, which is great. So we'll be getting some fruit coming off these guys soon. By far the best purchase from Marshall's has been the Asian mix salad. It's got a combination of Asian leaves. There's bok choy in there. I'm still not entirely sure what this one's called, but when you put this in stir fries, the flavor that it provides is absolutely incredible. So this has been a definite winner. We'll definitely try and find some seeds for this to grow them out next year, because they establish really quickly and they're very strong. Progressing to the last of our beds, we've got one cucamelon that I've put in there too, with more of the runner beans from Marshall's that are really also struggling. And the rest of this bed has all been stuff that I planted from seed when we were very early days still with regards to this veg patch. And everything here has just been magnificent. So we've got bok choy, we've got our own spinach that's growing. It's really taken off. I've just lifted the cover. Those are radishes. They have been absolutely splendid. We've got lettuce. The rocket has just been out of control. We've been eating huge amounts of rocket. The organic lettuce mix has started. Our carrots are taking off. Our leeks are doing well. So generally speaking, this bed has also been a big success, and these are all seeds from DT Brown. So I'm going to definitely be supporting them. We bought a stack of seeds again from them. Like I said, they're arriving this week. I've got a lot of faith in them as a company. So that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. In the next video, I'm going to provide complete updates with regards to all the vegetables that we have grown and that we're actually harvesting. giving you a step-by-step update as to which ones have been the biggest success stories. I've already discussed a lot of the DT Brown seeds. They've been really terrific, but it'll be really interesting to see how some of the other veg plugs do, and some of the stuff that we've seeded and the stuff that we will seed. So if you'd like to get that video, please hit the subscribe button below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. You can also follow us on Twitter or check out our website at myhomefarm.co.uk. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. We hope to see you on our next video.